All right, we are back. Bash in Berlin. This was a good show.
It was.
But let's get into it with some positives. The setup and the crowd were hot.
Well, except for the fact that you did not.
I will complain about that, but we're going to cross that bridge when we come to it. But the crowd was loud the entire time.
You're in Germany.
And also people bitching. It's like, I want to know what they're chanting. Does it matter?
Right.
It sounds fun. I want to be there. I'll literally go, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I want to be in that crowd. I want to feel the energy.
Right.
So that's all fun. And once again, the show was good. I think people gave this a lot of unnecessary hate. But once again, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. There wasn't outright a bad match.
No.
At all. So people need to be overall grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Punk and McIntyre's match was excellent.
Mm-hmm.
The AEW crowd losing their minds because Punk was wearing the all-in gear.
He was wearing a variation of it.
It was a variation.
Wearing the actual all-in gear.
No. That was hilarious. If he actually wore the all-in gear with all the blood on it, that would have made it even better.
Right.
Because remember, Punk bled like a stuffed pig, and I think that would have been really funny if he was like, I just want to wear the same gear. It's the anniversary of that.
Oh, yeah.
Of what happened. Yep. It was. I think it was to the day, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
But yeah, this was a great match. The story in it was exactly what it needed to be.
Yeah. And now it's done. Now it's
done. That was a climax.
Yep.
Boom. CM Punk's first win in a WWE ring since 2014.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. And that all that momentum, hopefully that will lead to a Gunther Punk match, I'm going to assume, at the next pay-per-view.
Probably.
He has to wrestle somebody.
Yep.
Speaking of Gunther, this match was awesome.
Oh, yeah. I loved it.
It was awesome. And people, and once again, complaining, it's like, well, why is a SmackDown superstar going after a Raw champion?
Does it matter?
Because Randy Orton's really popular internationally, and this was the first Germany show in years.
Or the first pay-per-view in Germany, I think, ever, too.
Yep. Like in the first televised one, like a decade and a half. So they had to put on a good show.
Yeah.
And Randy Orton had a justification for being in this position.
Yeah. And of course, Gunther is he is from Berlin.
Well, no, he's not. He's from Vienna. He's from Austria.
Well, no, I thought he was born in Germany, but then was raised in Austria. I could be wrong. I'm not gonna check that. But he has a lot of links to Germany just in general. Because
he started his career in Germany.
He did. But yeah, he was literally the German representative. Also, Randy Orton's a good guy to make him look legitimate because Randy Orton knows how to work a match.
Right, and Ludwig Kaiser's introduction for Gunther was very cool.
Yeah.
I really liked how it was Kaiser who did it. He did it in German.
Yep.
I thought it was just really cool. The crowd pop was excellent.
Yep.
It was a really good time.
It was.
I would have loved to have been in that audience, but also I've always wanted to go to Germany. So there we go. Now, with the good, there always has to be a bad.
And of course,
Peanut Gallery
this
already
has nothing to do with the damn show itself, but the thing is off-center.
Okay, so you see the ring, and you see the lighting trestle on it. But for some reason, the little video screen is like 10 feet more towards there. If that was going to be a problem, might as well have the ring a little bit more to the side.
Now, where else did that? Because that happened in another international show this year as well.
It did?
Yeah, it did. It wasn't the.
Was it in Puerto Rico? Because
I think it was
Puerto Rico. Because Puerto Rico had the.
It was another international show. No, it was the. I think it was the.
The Cardiff one.
Yeah, no, it was. I can't remember. Anyway, there was another one where it was off center like that.
The other one I can think of is Cardiff, because the one where they did it in not Cardiff, I'm sorry,
Scotland.
Scotland, yeah. The one where it was the stadium.
Yeah. Where the stadium was half, 3/4 of the way off center.
Yeah, because of how that stadium is set up, it's an amphitheater. Yeah. So there was no seats on that other side.
Right.
So that's why I sort of gave that one a little more of a pass, because everything else is cattywampus.
Yeah.
This one is a regular place. This is the Uber Arena. So there was no reason for it. And it's distracting now. I'm so pissed off by it.
You just bothered
my OCD is having a moan. It's like everything else is so within synergy. It's all even, and then all of a sudden, like why? So
Anyways,
dumb.
This was the weakest match of the night.
Oh yeah. I know why they won the titles. I get it. They were in their hometown. You get your little jerk off sesh. But is it really worth it just to have this weird transition? We're just gonna put them back on the black women. It's like, come on. They've been feuding with this, and I don't want to pigeonhole them with black and white, but literally it's Blair Davenport, goddamn Alba Fyre, and Isla, Naomi, Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair. That's the rivalry going on right now. What's the common denominator?
Well, the fact that the three black women are baby faces and the 3 white women are heels. I mean,
and then another 3 are from Scotland too.
Yeah.
But we're not saying that this was a bad match. It was actually a good match, and Peanut Gallery was actually blown away by Jade Cargill's performance.
She is getting better. She's noticeably.
Absolutely.
Noticeably getting better.
She is getting a lot better. So people need to stop complaining about that. But with all of it, it's like, we had to have a title change. These titles this would have been a lot better if they did this on SmackDown and did the LA Knight Ludwig Kaiser match in Bash.
Right.
Because they had that match and it was good.
Yeah.
But I guess they had to have a women's match somewhere.
They did.
Or at least do Nia Jackson Mitch in the street fight. Yeah. That was also a good match.
Yeah.
And this was weird. I did not like this. Looking back at it.
Okay.
I am going to explain it this way. You have all the members of Judgment Day. You have Carlito, JD McDonough, Finn Balor, Dominik Mysterio, and Liv Morgan. 5 people against Terror Twins, which are 2.
Yeah.
They not only beat up everybody else, but they won clean. They just totally, ratioed the Judgment Day.
Well,
and saying, who are the ones who matter?
Right. I mean, so let's put it this way. So Damian Priest is an absolute monster. He's like 6'7" and can eat Finn Balor and JD McDonough at once for lunch. Carlitos is a comedy character, so he doesn't matter.
He's awesome.
Dominik Mysterio
is awesome.
and then obviously Rhea Ripley is like a man because she is so big. She is a large woman.
That's awful. That's so mean.
She is a large woman.
She can peel off Liv Morgan's skin and wear it like a suit.
Yep.
But
so that's why. But Judgment Day are supposed to look weak. They are now gone down to they're chicken shit heels is what they are.
But is this the blow off to the rivalry then?
Yes, it is.
They're going to continue this rivalry. Peanut Gallery.
They might. I don't know what form it's going to take, but
and you see that's the other thing.
I'm thinking that they're probably going to do what's it called, War Games match down the road, but that's fine.
War Games is not next month, but the month after, right?
It's November.
Yes, so we're in September right now, so October and then
most of November. Yeah, they're going to continue in some form, but this was a blow off for just the Terror Twins in general.
This was the match that they could have waited for.
No. This was the right place to have this match. They needed to end this portion of the rivalry so that the larger portion can begin.
You could have done shenanigans and had Dominik and Liv win, and then you could have dragged this out for another pay-per-view.
No, you don't want a repeat of this match. This match was a one and done.
Why?
Because that's all it needed. It didn't need. Why would you have a rematch like that? Because
the problem is that Dom and Liv were at the disadvantage, and Liv is the world champion. She's the one who got pinned, and in every other situation, Liv beat Rhea. So Rhea was at the disadvantage, and now Liv's at the disadvantage, and she is the champion.
It doesn't matter.
You had all these other people. They could have done shenanigans, distracted, and had the 2 most hated people in the building at the time win the match. That would have made it so much more impactful instead of them getting eaten for lunch.
Why?
Because if you were going to drag this out till...
They're not dragging this portion of the rivalry out. They are dragging out the general Judgment Day versus...
Terror Twins. Oh, okay, so...
but the Terror Twins are going to expand. There's going to be new members added.
So Rhea Ripley is going to take on the other woman member of Judgment Day. They're not going to book Dom and Rhea. They're not going to do that.
No, they're not going to do that.
Now, if they do that, that would be awesome.
They're not going to do that.
They could.
I mean, they
did it with Akira Tozawa and Rhea Ripley.
I mean, again, they needed to end this portion of the rivalry, and they needed to do it quickly. That's all I have to say. Okay. And so that's why they did that.
Yeah,
because you want them to do this match again at the next pay-per-view? I would really want them to do this match again?
You could have done it in a cage match. You could have done it in a different way. But now why? What? Who are they going to face now? There's no other woman that Rhea can face. And you could say Damian Priest and Finn Balor, but other than that, who else? He's not taking on JD McDonough or Carlito. Those are the two job guys.
Again, there's a bigger. I see the vision happening, but this portion of the rivalry, the betrayers versus the people that were betrayed, needed to have this blow off match, and now we all feel better because they got their revenge.
Could have been done better. That's just my thing. And then the last comment that I have to make is not necessarily for this show itself, but for, once again, the IWC interacting weird regarding, it's like, this is the worst of the new era. Okay, so if there is going to be the best, there has to be a bottom. Mm-hmm. Now, was this one not as strong as like the Puerto Rico show, as the French show? No. And I can agree with you on that end, but that doesn't mean that the show was bad.
No.
There has to be if you're going to equate a good, there has to be a bad.
Right.
There has to be a yin-yang.
Yes.
But people saying this was a bad show because it wasn't as good as the others is dishonest.
Right.
It's just dishonest.
Right.
It was a 2.5 hour show?
Yeah, about 2.5 hours.
It's perfect time. It doesn't need to be 10 matches.
Right.
5 is fine.
Yeah.
Every match had time.
It's not a big 5. You don't have to have 10 matches.
Yeah, you don't have to.
No.
So I enjoyed this show. I really did like this show. I liked All In more, but All In was bigger.
Is the WrestleMania essentially?
Right.
So
they just had a little more pop in circumstance, and I thought the main event personally was better. Right. But that was obvious. So just that equation was just strange.
Yeah, it was.
And I wanted to bring it up. So when we come back, we have a special match.
And this might be part of a series as well.
Yes, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.